Hi, ADHDers. Today I wanted to talk a little bit more in depth about depression and ADHD. I had some questions on how do we know if we're depressed or if it's more the seasonal blues. So some basic guidelines is it's good to feel emotions. We want to feel the good, we want to feel the bad, the highs, the lows. It's just how deep and severe the lows are, how long they last, where our thoughts go with them, and do they impair our quality of life. So if an event happens that's appropriate and should make us sad, then it's okay to feel sad. That could last a few hours, maybe a day, hopefully about a day or less, maybe 2 days. If something happens or maybe something doesn't happen, but we start feeling sad and indifferent to things, going through the motions, not really wanting to engage as much with people and activities as much. Maybe food doesn't taste as good as it used to. More indifference to life thoughts or thoughts of actually planning or thinking about self-harm. Maybe not being able to go to work or holding us back from really quality of life. Just a lot of dread, gloom, blah, just kind of feeling flatlined. Then that's a good indication that that's probably depression. So we do need to take our depression seriously because, as I mentioned before, if we don't have our other mental health conditions like depression well managed, we're not going to be at goal and have our ADHD the best we can have it. So in regards to depression, if we're feeling that we can't get out of this gloom, doom, down, dreary, indifference feeling, especially now it's lingering days or maybe weeks, it's a good idea to talk to your mental health care provider about potential medicine management for that. That can be very helpful. So remember, a lot of the depression medicines target the serotonin chemical in your brain. So those medicines can be helpful. But also, in addition to that, gut health is really important. So we now know that the stomach or gut health is almost kind of like the second brain. We now know that a lot of serotonin is also produced in the stomach, not just the brain. So the antidepressant medicines that we often are prescribed, if needed, are targeting serotonin production in the brain and helping your brain hold on to the serotonin longer. So we now know that the stomach produces serotonin, so a natural way to treat depression and to help in addition to treating depression is working on gut health. So gut health is not just eating healthy, but specifically gut health, healthy eating. So kombucha, kimchi, sauerkraut, green leafy vegetables, bone broth, yogurt, sourdough bread. There's a long list of things that are good for gut health specifically. A lot of them are fermented items. You can look up gut health, the top 10, 20 gut health recommendations, make one or two of those changes. What that'll do is help make your gut healthier, in turn help make your stomach, your gut make more serotonin. So it's that serotonin combination between what's produced in the gut and the brain that is what ultimately helps with your depression management. So the higher serotonin level you have, the more it helps push down and manage and suppress the depression symptoms. So by antidepressants, which can help, a lot of them target the serotonin, as I mentioned, by helping your brain hold on to serotonin so your serotonin levels get higher, ultimately pushing the depression symptoms down. But also we can do that by working on the gut health. Healthier gut health makes more serotonin production. The higher serotonin level pushes down the depression symptoms. So that's really important and something we can do that is in our power to work on depression. Supplements can also be helpful. So some supplements like vitamin D, CoQ10, zinc, probiotics have been shown to be helpful for gut health, which ultimately helps your mental health in general. Outside of gut health and nutrition for depression management, therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy mainly, is very helpful and a staple necessary for good depression management. So we not only need to change the serotonin maybe levels in our body, but also our thought process. How do we think about things? How do we transition our thoughts, etc.? So cognitive behavioral therapy with a licensed therapist is great and was really helpful to bring and combat those depression thoughts and episodes. I like Dr. David Burns a lot. He has a book called Feeling Great. It's on Audible or a physical book. It doesn't replace a therapist, but it's a great therapy tools and techniques, a lot of techniques to work on so that you can find what helps you manage your depression. It's all about finding a bigger and better and filling up that toolbox so you have more tools in the toolbox to grasp and pull from when you're having depressive episodes. So finding what tools work ahead of time so that when you are depressed, you can just pull those out and say, hey, I know this grounding technique works. I know this deep breathing exercise technique works. I know bottom of the barrel works. Whatever those techniques are that you can learn through the Dr. David Burns Feeling Great book, or through cognitive behavioral therapy will definitely help in depression management. In addition, of course, we know exercise, in general, eating healthy, sleeping appropriately, not isolating, those are all good things that are going to help manage our depression. Similarly, studies have shown being grateful or gratitude journal is helpful. So at the end of the day, we should be reflecting on what's one good thing that happened from me today, regardless of how big or small it is, and what's one thing I'm grateful for right now in my life. We just kind of let the glooming, gray, negative cloud follow us everywhere we go. We're never going to see or reflect or focus on the good. So it's crucial to focus on the good daily, even if it's just a little something to hold on to and move forward with. Also, studies show that community service is helpful for depression. So kind of just getting out of ourselves, helping others, getting ourselves in different situations, not focusing so much on ourselves is good for mental health, as well as plugging into your faith or beliefs. If you're a person of faith, digging into your faith is helpful for depression management. In addition to that, just making sure we're trying to keep as consistent as we can. Like I talked about in a past video on depression and ADHD management, the more consistent we are with the good things, the easier it will to get out of that slump of the depression. But if we're not doing well with our depression management, we really should seek out a therapist to help us guide in this process and definitely get evaluated for med management if needed. Of course, if you're feeling suicidal, then call 911 to get evaluated to see if you're safe for yourself, or having the number, the National Crisis Hotline on file is helpful. 988 is the National Crisis Hotline. So if you're feeling very depressed or having a lot of suicidal thoughts, then we can call that number at any time of the day to help de-escalate and to help figure out what best next steps are for you. So figuring out, do we have depression? How is our depression managed? Are we managing our depression, or is depression the boss of me right now? How can I get that depression better managed? A, so that I'm in a better headspace, but B, ultimately, so that my ADHD and my focus and my concentration and my mental capacity can all go directed to focused concentration, motivation, efficiency. Thanks, guys. Hope that was helpful. Have a great day.